Hey guys, Barry here again, and are you thinking what I'm thinking? Hey girls, how do you guys feel about putting a spoolie boy on Mommy's Cadillac?
I think it's a good idea.
Do you?
Me
What
too.
do you think? Do you want it to go?
Yeah. No.
That'd be sick. No, not at all.
No.
Not even a little bit. Not even like this much.
No.
Well, we're doing it anyway, and Mom's not gonna know. Why?
Because Daddy's keeping it a secret.
Yeah. So that means you got to keep it a secret. Don't tell anyone. What I have here is a 6-liter that was in the rat rod for all of 4 days, and it lost oil pressure and blew up. And I've been thinking about building it, but for now I'm going to use it as a mock-up engine for the turbo kit. So here's pretty much everything that I'll need to sort of simulate a running engine, because I can't just take this off the road for 2 weeks and build a turbo kit, you know, do the exhaust, all that stuff, because it's my wife's daily driver. And also she would be kind of suspicious if she didn't have the Cadillac for like 2 weeks. And I was like, oh no, it's just, you know, I'm just fixing it. It's got a flat tire or whatever. Anyway, here is all of our parts: oil pan, cylinder heads, water pump, intake, and front timing cover. Pretty sure that's all I need. So what I'll have to do is kind of close the hood the best I can and measure from the top of the intake. See if we can sort of fix this up here. To the top of the intake to the hood. Measure how much space we have here so I can see how high the turbo can sit. Because there's not a whole lot of room between the manifolds down here and the height that the turbo can sit. Also, there's not a lot of left and right room. Might have to relocate this bad boy. Of course, all this here is going to be gone anyway, so there's no big deal there. And figure out if I'm going to put an intercooler on it or not. I'm only running this thing on like low, like 5 pounds probably, just to hear, you know, turbo noises, a little bit extra power. I'm not even going to change the injectors. I'm going to leave stock injectors in it. If they give me issues, maybe I'll decap it set again, but this thing's not going to be crazy. I took the turbo off the rat rod, immediately regretted it, and now I want to put it on this. All right, here we have our completed 6-liter mock-up. The reason I wanted to bolt the water pump on was because we have our accessories right here, obviously. Top rad hose, thermostat housing. And the main reason was because of these 2 heater hoses right here. I don't care about the AC because that's down here out of the way. But I want to keep the heater in Cadillac because it's Canada and it's winter. It's friggin' minus 20 or something. So I want to come either completely straight out and then turn up, or maybe tip up a little bit and then turn up into the turbo. I have a log manifold home, but it comes down and hits right here, which would mean I'd have to cut all this off, and I'm just not going to do that. So I do have some stock manifolds, and I'm thinking about doing a log style, but sort of make it up how I want to make it fit. Here are the manifolds, is what I'm going to be using. If you watched the last video I did on the Cadillac with doing the headers and stuff, you'll know that these are the 2 stock manifolds that came off of it. Here's the EGR and all that junk there. So this is the driver's side. What I'm going to do is pretty much leave it stock, except I'll cut it off right here and weld the pipe directly to it because I don't like these flanges. They always leak. You can see this one here was already blowing out and not good for boost leaks and all that stuff. I just don't like it anyway. So I'll clean up the face right here, make sure it's nice and flat. Maybe even do a little bit of port work on them if I get crazy. The driver's side is where all the fab work is going to happen. I probably should have taken this off before I started this video, but no big deal. Let's peel this up out of the way. What I'm going to do is cut each pipe off right across here. That way it'll come out straight off the engine, and my merge or the log will be about right here. And I'll make that out of 2.5, potentially 3-inch pipe. And then the back will come down and do the same way as this. The pipe from this side will come around, go right up into this one. And I think it'll look cool, and potentially put some header wrap around it so I don't melt components. One of the things I love about the LS engine is this bolt. Focus. There we go, that bolt. It can be used pretty much anywhere. Front cover, rear cover, which is not on it, valley cover, oil pan. These little oil ports here, they all use the same bolt, which is crazy. I love how GM did that. Even these cylinder head bolts here, those small ones, I'm pretty sure they use the same type of bolt. And that's what I'm gonna mock up the manifolds on with it now. Mint. Here we can get a better idea what we're looking at. Here's the driver's side. So cut this pipe or this flange off, come down under the transmission back here somewhere, come up around this side, and right here will be our pipe, our log. And the exhaust from down here will come up, join into the log, and both sets of exhaust will come out and then tip up to get away from our heater hoses here. So it'll come and tip up like this. So don't laugh too hard, but I wanted to see whereabouts it would sit or what it would look like. So sometimes you gotta use what you have. Right now I'm using the bench, some 2x4, just to set it up, see what it looks like. Of course the turbo is gonna have to be clocked whichever way to move it closer to the block, because our manifolds are right here. You know, it's gonna wanna come up and whatever. But I don't think it's gonna be any issue getting the turbo to sit lower than the intake or pretty much level with, because right now the turbo flange is actually higher than or about level with Yeah, a little bit higher with our ports here. So what I think I'll have to do is turn this whole exhaust housing so it's sideways. So it'll come out and turn into the exhaust, like, you know, sort of sideways like that. And that wouldn't be an issue because this middle section that has our oil drain and our feed can be clocked separately from the exhaust and separately from the intake. So that's not serious. And I think that'll allow us to move the turbo this way in relation with the engine also. Let's see what it'll sound like. Yep, making power. Another thing I have to think about is where in this entangled mess of hoses and AC junk is our downpipe gonna go. So let's say if the turbo is right here, there's a 5-inch downpipe. It's got to come out and go this way somewhere. Whether it goes down through here and I cut out some of this inner fender liner and comes down here somewhere, which I wouldn't really care about if it came down and snuck down behind the tire there. It'd be hidden. Or if it comes out sort of like here, which also would be really cool. But I don't want to melt this flare because it's some sort of ABS plastic and I like it, so I'd rather not melt it. Would be a cool opportunity to do like a heat shield thing around here though, and I think that would look cool. And I'm sure the police would appreciate the workmanship when they pull me over for having a 4-inch hole in my fender. Something else I hadn't considered is the possibility of the turbo sitting right here. Not exactly like that, potentially, but maybe. This flange will be turned, right now it's facing straight down. It'll be turned toward the engine, so there'll be lots of room for it to come out here. Lots of room for a wastegate. And the exhaust, if I turn it whatever way, this coolant bottle's coming out of it, could go straight back and out wherever. All this stuff is over here. All of our coolant hoses are out of the way. This bottle is going to be out of it, so piles of room right here. I kind of like that. It'll look cool too. I had to take the turbo apart just to have a look at it and make sure it was all good. And that's perfect. And look at the fins. Let's turn it so you can see it. Here we go. Look how clean they are. Not a mark. And I had 4 or 5 pistons break pieces off this year and go through this turbo. Up through here, around the housing, around here, out through the exhaust. And did not make a mark. I mean, I guess you'd call blowing 3-4 engines up bad luck, but that's good luck. So I'm okay with that. So we're all done with this video for tonight. I just wanted to give an overview of what I'm thinking about doing with the turbo, Cadillac, that kind of thing. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it because I can mock everything up on this engine, have it all ready, measured up, and when I'm ready to put it on, I think I can knock it out in probably a Saturday and a Sunday. Have it all bolted in. I already got the oil lines made up. I'm not putting an intercooler on it. I'm not going off boost for that, and I'm not looking at making drag racing power. And this is just a daily driver back and forth to work, maybe make some boost noises going up the road. That's about it. So on that note, I'm going to end the video, and thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night.